I thought today we could do a good old-fashioned beauty favorites. It's been a couple of years since I last did this. It's going to be very relaxed, very lo-fi. I'm filming it on my phone, and yeah, I thought it would be nice to just run through what I'm currently putting on my face. A lot of these products I have also been using for years, so you know they're good. Let's make up my face. We've got to start with some skincare, of course, and I will share my evening skincare favorites at the end of this video along with some hair care, but eye cream always first. I've actually got two here that I wanted to mention, and I have to say Colleen Rothschild is a brand, one of my all-time favorites. There isn't a product that I have tried from her that I haven't liked. And this illuminating tinted eye cream, I mean, wow, it really, really wakes you up under the eyes. It is so incredibly brightening. I'm actually going to do a side by side so you can see how they each look, but this is kind of a pinky pearly color. So that's the before. I'm not sure quite how well you can see the impact, but it really illuminates, really brightens. And this is the thing that I use in the morning when I feel like I look a little bit tired. It just completely wakes me up. Then we have the Tula Skincare Glow and Get It Cooling and Brightening Eye Balm. Now, I've used this up entirely before, so this is actually my second tube of this product. And rather than a little squeezy tube like the Colleen Rothschild, this comes as a balm stick, so really easy to just throw in your bag. And this one has kind of this pepperminty cooling effect under the eye. It's also quite brightening as well, but I don't feel like it's quite as impactful as a Colleen Rothschild, but this is beautiful, especially in the summertime. You can just rub this underneath your eyes when you are really hot, and it's just gonna have this beautiful cooling effect all day. It just sort of wakes up the skin a little bit. Okay, serum next. So we've got another Colleen Rothschild product. This is the Age Renewal Super Serum. I feel like my skin always looks really plumped whenever I apply this, and it's really hydrating. It has peptides, collagen boosters, amino acids, like all of the good stuff. And yeah, I feel like my skin really agrees with this. And actually, if you are someone who has sensitive skin, I've noticed when I just use Colleen Rothschild products, I don't have any redness around here, which is where I'm often prone to getting it. So that's really beautiful. I'm actually going to apply this one from The Secret. This is their serum. It says to just use 1 drop to a cleansed face, but I personally feel like you need more than that. But this really does hydrate, and it lays really nicely under makeup as well. So does the Colleen Rothschild, but this has a little bit more of a slippy feel to it. Actually, before I continue, let's apply a lip treatment. This is my favorite, the Remedy for Dry Lips. Now, I've mentioned this before, but I get eczema on my lips, so along the vermilion line, and it can be really uncomfortable, and I have noticed it's less and less these days. It's one of the reasons why I don't branch out when it comes to lipsticks. I've got my tried and true. I know that they work for me, and I'm not going to stray from them. But when I use this, I never need to use my treatment for my lips, which I've been prescribed from the doctor. So I absolutely adore this. It is so nourishing, so hydrating. I really like the little applicator as well. Such a beautiful product. And that sinks into the lips really beautifully. For something that kind of feels a little bit more like a gloss, but in a lip balm applicator, the Colleen Rothschild one is really nice too. So this is called the Lip Moisturizer. It's got vitamin E in it. It's got a brown sugar, sort of this really sugar cookie-ish scent and flavor to it that almost, I kind of get the scent of caffeine when I'm wearing it, but this is also really lovely. I had this on my lips this morning. I'd kind of forgotten about it, and yeah, that's also great. See what I mean? I love everything Colleen Rothschild. So we'll do sunscreen next. The Aven 50 Plus sunscreen. This is so nice. I actually really love Aven sunscreen that you can buy, for the body, but this is beautiful for the face. It does have the little pipette, but I find it's a little bit awkward to get out. This sits so nicely underneath makeup. I like the fact that it doesn't make any of my other products pill, and it's also just that way to ensure that I'm adding that sunscreen step into my routine, which is really important when you live somewhere like Australia where the sun is really damaging to your skin because there's no ozone. So moisturizer, and I have so many favorites. I tend to cycle through them. I actually just finished this one from The Secret last night. It's called the Base Cream. This is beautiful. It's a really lightweight kind of lotion style, quite thin, and it feels very hydrating despite that. I also really can't rave enough about the Embryolisse Le Crème Concentré. Like, this is just such a beautiful product. It can act as a face mask, as a primer. You can use it to remove your makeup. I mean, this is a really good all-rounder. The natural moisturizing factors from The Ordinary is great, and actually this has just kind of come back into my life because I've done some recent work with them over on Instagram, And yeah, this was one of my favorites from the brand. It's really nice and lightweight. This is kind of what I look for in a summertime moisturizer. It has hyaluronic acid in it, really plumping. It just looks so good on the skin. The Colleen Rothschild is the one I use a lot. It's really interesting because the color of it is actually kind of a gray. The reason why I love this is because it's perfect for reactive skin. If you've got really sensitive skin, acne prone skin, I find my complexion loves this. It also has charcoal in it, which helps to regulate excess oil. So someone who does have kind of combination skin, this is a good one. And then this is what I'm going to use today. But then the other product I have is from Vetted, and this is their light moisturizer. It has a very similar color to this, but it has a bit of a scent to it. It's unscented, but it has that scent in a way, you know, that chemical products like these tend to have, but it's really, really lovely, and it has more of a water-like feel on the skin. I think I actually have a discount code for Vetted, by the way. I use a few of their other products as well. But this weightless moisturizer, it just feels so juicy and plumping on the skin, super hydrating, and I just feel like my skin looks alive, it looks awake thanks to all of these products. Okay, so makeup next. And you know, I have been using the NARS Smudge Proof eyeshadow base for probably about a decade at this point. This is hands down the best eyeshadow base I've ever tried. And I have tried the Urban Decay one, and that was fine, but I just found myself coming back to this one from NARS because it has more of a tacky finish rather than that silicone feel that I think the Urban Decay one has. I mean, that works great too, but this is just the OG holy grail. In my eyes, cannot go wrong. Love the applicator. The only gripe I have is that when you get to the end, there's still a little bit of extra product in there, and it's very difficult to get out. Honestly, no particular eyeshadow has really wowed me. I'm just using the same ones. I mean, once you've got a few good palettes, then you're sort of set for a really long time, but I just use the Tartelette in Bloom on my eyes. I have learned over the years what tends to suit me on my eyes, and it's usually something that's a little bit lighter but that has slightly more pigment than the color of the skin on my eyelids. I also just went and put on the Hair and Make eyeliner. Okay, so for base, I've been using two products really consistently this year. One is the Maracuja, kind of the skin tint from Tarte, but what I'm going to use today is the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer Oil Free. I've got this in the shade 2N1, and I have to say, I kind of forgot for a minute just how good, just how beautiful this product is. I tend to apply it directly to my skin, but basically to give you a sense of my non-negotiable for base products, they have to look flawless on the skin. They have to look one with the skin. I don't want anything that looks cakey. It's one of the reasons why I can't use the Merit Complexion Minimalist Stick during the winter time, because it just is very visible and it highlights all of my pores. So things that kind of have a little bit more of a dewy, lightweight finish are right up my alley. So this kind of just helps to really even out the redness on my skin and hide some minor imperfections. One thing you may have noticed is that I actually don't apply any product on my forehead, and I tend to just focus the product here under the eyes and around my mouth, which is where I need it. I don't really tend to put anything on my nose either. I just feel like it looks like I'm wearing makeup. So that is that. I would sometimes use a concealer. I've started using the Glossier stretch concealer again, so we'll just apply a little bit of that. Gosh, this is such a beautiful kind of creamy product, and I stopped using it for a few years just because, you know, I would have had to buy it using mail forwarding, and that can be a little bit of a drag when it comes to beauty products. But now that they ship directly to Australia, you can just buy them at Mecca. It's a lot more accessible. Okay. For cheeks, we're going to use the Cloud Paint from Glossier. I think to this day, this is one of their hands down best products they've ever put out. This is a really beautiful kind of peachy brown hue. I find it works really nicely with my complexion. It really blends in, melts into the skin, becomes one with the skin, which is what I want from my base products. It's one of the reasons why I tend to favor creams over all else, and you can always set that down with a little bit of powder if you need. I also adore Merit's, what's this called again, the Flash Balm cheek color. I have the shade Terracotta, a really lovely kind of sienna brown hue. You can see I have a type when it comes to makeup products. I know the colors that I like. And then if I am doing a powder, I will use the bronzer from Jones Road in the shade Dusty Rose. So this has more of a mauvey color to it, a little bit more pink than I would usually go, but it looks so beautiful on the skin. I mean, Bobbi Brown knows exactly what she is doing. So, okay, let's get this on my face. And I usually just dab a few dots on the cheek. Sometimes I go a little bit overboard, but it's okay. Sometimes I have blush blindness, I'm okay with that. And I buff that in using a brush from Sculpt. I actually bought a whole set of these during the Black Friday sales a few years ago, but you can use your fingers too. So I will center this on the high points of my cheeks, and I actually bring it up onto my temples a little bit because I don't wear bronzer, and I also like to put a little bit on my nose to kind of give me that sun-kissed, sunburnt effect. Favorite mascara is from Merit. This is so good. I actually have not one, not two, but I've actually got 3 backups, I think. Or maybe I've got 4. I've got quite a few of these. I bought a bunch more when they did their Black Friday sale so that I could stock up, seeing as mascara is a high turnover product. This is their Clean Lash. It is a tubing mascara, and it just kind of gives you a nice natural fluttery lash. And you can see the difference here. On my right, I'm wearing the mascara. On the left, I'm not. So very, very natural look. Lips is final makeup product, and if you know me, you'll know that I'm pretty much almost exclusively wearing Merit's Tiger, and this is just such a beautiful brown. It's kind of got a little bit of a brick red undertone to it. This is a year round for me. I do have a couple of other lip products which are very similar in terms of the color, so as you can see, I know what I like, I know what suits me. Queen Musia, Ada. This is really slightly more kind of peachy pink, but still has that very nice brown undercurrent to it. This is a matte lipstick, so I will often apply something like the Colleen Rothschild underneath, just because then it gives my lips a little bit more moisture. Or I just recently bought this and it is really good. I've been reaching for it every day. The Ultra Lip from Glossier in the shade Cachet. And this is basically a glossy lip balm with pigment in it, so you can really build up the color. It is just so creamy. It's like a super pigmented lip balm. It's got a really nice shine to it. I'd say probably my only bugbear is just how busted this gets in the tube. So I have had this happen to me with, I think this is the second one that, I mean, you can see how much I use this. This is the second one that I've almost used up, but the bullet just falls out of the casing. And so then you kind of got to push it back in, and yeah, there's not a lot you can do, but I still persist. I still use it because it is just such a phenomenal product. No, it's not going to last all day. You do need to reapply, but I don't have any problem with that because it just feels like putting a balm on my lips. It's kind of a sheer wash, but then you can really build it up. When it comes to hair, I'm going to show you what my hair looked like this morning, and then I have been using the Air Wrap religiously for the past few months, and it has completely changed the look, the feel of my hair. I have to say now, when I look back on old photos of myself, I kind of think I wish I'd figured out how to use the Air Wrap sooner. It just gives me so much more volume, and I think it's also improved the quality of my hair as I'm using something that is more gentle and more kind. Okay, so, and maybe that's a good segue to talk about what I'm using in my hair currently. I really love the styling oil from GHD. I think that is really, really good. But I think a lot of it also comes down to the hair care products that you're using beforehand. I love Chloran, but I've recently kind of been getting into Type B, their Strength and Length shampoo and conditioner. I also have the treatment, but I have another one that I prefer. These are really, really good. They kind of support hair growth. They've got salicylic acid in it to help maintain the health of your scalp as well. So it's not just helping to kind of grow, lengthen your hair, but also for full scalp health as well. Then I really, really love the Coco and Eve Like a Virgin Super Nourishing Coconut and Fig Mask. So I will apply this maybe twice a month. It's a really, really thick mask that I'll put in my hair for about 5 minutes. Gosh, it smells amazing. I think I might have a discount code for this brand actually. I'll pop anything I have down the description box, but yeah, it just makes my hair look really shiny, feel really nourished and hydrated. So yeah, this has been a real winner. Then we'll move on to a few more skincare products that I use at nighttime. So when it comes to cleansers, I don't have any particular one that I am wedded to. I do really love this one from Tula. So this is the second tube of this that I have, the Cult Classic Purifying Face Cleanser. What I look for is something that isn't going to strip my skin, that is going to clean it well, and that is not going to break me out or irritate. So those are really my non-negotiables, and anything beyond that I'm not too fussed. So this does the job. I love the Colleen Rothschild one. I also really love one from Skin Institute. I'll put a picture up on screen because I've run out. I've used up 2 bottles of that. It is just a beautiful, beautiful cleanser. Then when it comes to other eye creams, the BioEffect EGF Eye Serum, this is what I use at nighttime. I feel like this really helps with just kind of reducing those signs of aging. It has a kind of little rollerball applicator. It's really nice and cooling as well, being a metal. There are a whole lot of studies done around EGF and why it's so good for your skin. So I maybe might link some of that below in case you're curious. Then when it comes to other serums and also retinols that I'm using. So one of my other favorite serums is from Emma Lewisham, Supernatural Vital Face Elixir. I feel like this just brightens my skin. It makes it feel more plump, more nourished. Emma Lewisham in general, her products are absolutely beautiful. I've got a whole lot. I also really like the anti-blemish serum as well, which they've actually reformulated. I do use that one whenever I'm having a bit of bad skin. Usually it's a hormonal thing, and that always helps to calm things down. But yeah, Emma Lewisham products in general are really, really effective. And then we have a couple of retinols, which I do have, and this is genetic, and this is part of the thing when it comes to skincare, I will say, is that your genetics are going to determine how your skin ages. Beauty products can help to minimize, but they aren't going to be a panacea. They're not going to solve all of your problems. So a great way to know how your skin is going to age is to look to your parents. And I very much have a similar complexion to my mum. So she had a lot of kind of pigmentation on her skin, which I think she got more as she got older. I've noticed the same thing because my skin was clear as a bella. I only had a few freckles when we first moved here to Australia, and now I do have a lot more pigmentation, dark spots. And so I do like retinol for that, to try and help to minimize, but I know it's not going to get rid of them. If I want to get rid of them, I need to go and do some sort of a laser treatment. And so I'm at this point where I'm thinking, do I want to do any of these sort of more invasive treatments to my skin? I'm quite happy to see those blemishes and things come through because it is a sign that you're getting older, that you're maturing, and it's part of what comes with age. Anyway, back to retinol. I mean, obviously great for helping to minimize fine lines. I love the Skinstitute, what is this called? It's the Retinol Face Oil. This is beautiful. I actually can't use oils for the large part of my skin because I just end up breaking out. I find that they are too rich for my skin. There is a level that my complexion is happy with, and generally most oils go beyond that, but this I can use with zero problems. I don't break out. I find it actually really helps to nourish the skin as well. I've not had a single issue with this. I have used some retinols that have felt very strong and have made my face itch. Never been a problem with this. The other one I love is from Remedy, and this is their Super Stacked Dark Spot Correcting Treatment. So again, this is going to help to target those dark spots on your face. This is the one that I'm using a lot at the moment. It really promotes skin cell turnover. I mean, if you look at just the ingredients that are included, licorice root, niacinamide, mandelic acid, tranexamic acid, all of these things are working to create an even skin tone and reduce the signs of spots on your skin. So that's another beautiful one. And as you know, I'm a really big fan of Remedy. Then when it comes to moisturizers, for something a little bit heavier that actually my skin really likes, the Cocoon Ceramide Cream from Ray. This is so nourishing. It feels like a really big drink for your skin. It is so thick as well. So this is kind of my favorite for the evening in wintertime. You can see it actually has you can pull this out. So I love that you can continue to use the exterior packaging. It does look so beautiful on vanity as well. I mean, New Zealand brands, they know what they're doing. When my skin is exceptionally dry, the thing that I would use is the Fresh Black Tea Firming Overnight Mask. This has a really tacky kind of a feel to it. It's very difficult to describe because it's sort of wet but tacky. It leaves this sort of tacky feeling on the skin too once it sinks in. But my gosh, is my skin nourished and moisturized after I've used this. Hang on. So you can see I've almost used this all up. I've got a little bit left. I mean, I would usually apply more than this to my face at nighttime, but I'm going to savor this and use it. I mean, it's just an exceptionally good product, and I would use that in place of a moisturizer when I feel like I need that hydration hit. And then I also really love this one from Biossance, the Squalane Ectoine Overnight Rescue. So squalane is probably one of my favorite skincare ingredients. I just find it really penetrates the skin barrier for me and just gives me that nice hydration boost. I mean, so you can get a sense of, it's a really nice, it's kind of creamy, that sort of milky, creamy sort of a consistency. It leaves almost a silicone type feel to the skin, but not in that way that feels synthetic. It just feels really smooth and silky. It's probably the best way to describe it, but this is another really good one for when my skin is dehydrated. And then I wanted to end with a couple of supplements that I'm using at the moment as well, which I think are really helping my complexion to glow. So Vita Glow, I've almost used this all up. Yeah, I've got 2 left. The Collagen Liquid Advance. So these, you just tear them open and then you drink the little syrup that's inside. It tastes kind of like honey, I would say, and it kind of just works to make your skin radiate from within, which is the same as the Radiance Advanced Repair capsules, which I've been using too. So combined, I feel like this has been a really good duo, and I just feel like my complexion looks so much fresher. So those are my beauty favorites for 2024, the things I've been absolutely loving that I use on repeat, that I'm going to be continuing to use into 2025. I think with a lot of these things, when you find a product that you really love, you just stick with it. I mean, I feel like things such as my Glossier Cloud Paint, case in point, I mean, how often do you use up an entire blush? And this is really pigmented. Or even just the fact that I've bought so many of the Merit Clean Lash. I mean, you know that it is good when you are continuing to repurchase it. And I think this also comes with a caveat that depending on your skin type, on your preferences, what you're looking for, what really works for you is going to be different to what really works for me. But I hope these little mini reviews were helpful, especially if you were considering any of these products. Thank you so much for spending some of your day with me, especially with this little bonus video. I know the period in the lead up to Christmas is always absolutely chaotic for everybody as we're kind of last minute planning, prepping, getting ready to spend time with our loved ones over the holidays. So yeah, thank you so much. And I will see you next time with a brand new one. See you soon. Bye.